The annals of American history are filled with tales of ambition, ruthlessness, and the pursuit of power. Few stories embody these themes as vividly as that of Dutch Schultz, a name synonymous with the violent underbelly of New York City during the Prohibition era. Born Arthur Flegenheimer, Schultz rose from humble beginnings to become one of the most feared and powerful gangsters in the nation. His life, a whirlwind of illegal activities, bloody conflicts, and audacious power grabs, offers a glimpse into a tumultuous period in American history. Schultz's story is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the seductive allure of power and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. Schultz's reign of terror, though ultimately short-lived, left an enduring mark on New York City and the landscape of organized crime. His name, whispered in hushed tones in back alleys and speakeasies, evoked fear and respect in equal measure. This essay delves into the life and times of Dutch Schultz, exploring his rise to power, his ruthless tactics, and his eventual downfall at the hands of rivals and the law. From the beer wars of Prohibition to his audacious plot to assassinate a prominent prosecutor, Schultz's story is a captivating journey into the heart of American gangsterism. Arthur Flegenheimer's transformation into Dutch Schultz began in the rough-and-tumble streets of the Bronx. Born in 1901, Schultz's early life was marked by poverty and hardship, factors that would shape his worldview and propel him towards a life of crime. Dropping out of school at a young age, he turned to petty theft and other illicit activities to survive. These early experiences instilled in him a streetwise cunning and a disregard for authority that would serve him well in his later endeavors. Schultz's criminal career escalated during his teenage years, leading to his first prison sentence at the tender age of 18. This stint behind bars, far from deterring him, seemed to solidify his criminal path. It was within the confines of prison that he earned his nickname Dutch, due to his stocky build and resemblance to a prize fighter. Upon his release, Schultz found himself drawn back into the criminal underworld, the allure of easy money and illicit thrills proving too strong to resist. He began working for local gangsters, running errands, and engaging in low-level criminal activities. However, Schultz's ambition and ruthlessness soon became apparent, setting the stage for his meteoric rise to power. The advent of Prohibition in 1920 proved to be a turning point in Dutch Schultz's life. With the sale and consumption of alcohol outlawed, a lucrative black market emerged, and Schultz was quick to capitalize on the opportunity. He established a network of breweries and speakeasies, flooding New York City with illegal booze. His operation, fueled by violence and intimidation, soon made him one of the most successful bootleggers in the city. Schultz's rise to prominence in the bootlegging underworld brought him into direct conflict with rival gangs, each vying for control of the lucrative liquor trade. The streets of New York became battlegrounds as gangs clashed in bloody turf wars. Schultz, known for his ruthlessness and willingness to use violence, emerged as a formidable force in these conflicts. He orchestrated countless shootings, bombings, and assassinations, eliminating rivals and consolidating his control over the city's underworld. As Dutch Schultz's power and wealth grew, so too did the cracks within his own organization. His paranoia and distrust of those closest to him led to internal conflicts and betrayals. One of the most significant rifts occurred with his former protege, Vincent Call, a ruthless gangster known as Mad Dog for his unpredictable nature and penchant for violence. Call, feeling slighted and ambitious for power himself, broke away from Schultz's gang and formed his own criminal outfit. This betrayal ignited a bloody gang war that terrorized the streets of New York. Schultz and Call's crews engaged in a series of tit-for-tat killings, each side determined to eliminate the other. The conflict reached its peak with the assassination of Call's brother, Peter, an act that sent shockwaves through the underworld. Section 5. The Taxman Cometh. Dutch Schultz on trial. Dutch Schultz's reign of terror, though seemingly unstoppable, faced a new threat: the relentless pursuit of the law. In the early 1930s, authorities, determined to crack down on organized crime, began to focus their attention on Schultz's vast criminal enterprise. They targeted his financial dealings, accusing him of tax evasion, a tactic that had proven successful in bringing down other notorious gangsters like Al Capone. In 1933, Schultz was indicted on multiple counts of tax evasion. Facing a lengthy prison sentence if convicted, he initially went into hiding, attempting to evade capture. However, realizing that he couldn't outrun the law forever, he eventually surrendered to authorities in 1934. His trial, a media sensation, gripped the nation as the notorious gangster faced the possibility of a lengthy prison sentence. Section 6. A power struggle. Dutch Schultz versus the Mafia Commission. While Dutch Schultz battled legal troubles, a new power structure was emerging in the underworld, the Mafia Commission. This council of powerful crime bosses sought to bring order and stability to the often chaotic world of organized crime. They established rules, divided territories, and aimed to resolve disputes among the various families. Schultz, however, accustomed to operating independently and with little regard for authority, resisted the commission's attempts to rein him in. The commission, recognizing Schultz's power and influence, initially attempted to negotiate with him, urging him to join their ranks and abide by their rules. Schultz, however, viewed the commission as a threat to his autonomy and a challenge to his position as one of the most powerful gangsters in the country. He refused to cede any of his power or territory, setting the stage for a clash of titans. Section 7. The Dewey Plot. A reckless gamble. As Dutch Schultz's legal troubles mounted and his feud with the Mafia Commission intensified, his behavior became increasingly erratic and unpredictable. He became fixated on eliminating those he perceived as threats to his power, including Special Prosecutor Thomas Dewey, a rising star in law enforcement who had made a name for himself by relentlessly pursuing organized crime figures. Schultz, convinced that Dewey was the driving force behind the tax evasion charges against him, became obsessed with silencing the ambitious prosecutor. He believed that Dewey's death would cripple law enforcement efforts against him and allow him to maintain his grip on his criminal empire. Driven by paranoia and a thirst for revenge, Schultz began to hatch a plan to assassinate Dewey, a reckless gamble that would ultimately prove to be his undoing. Section 8. Ambush at the Palace Chop House, the fall of a Kingpin. Word of Dutch Schultz's plot to assassinate Thomas Dewey reached the ears of the Mafia Commission. The bosses, already wary of Schultz's unpredictable nature and defiance of their authority, were appalled by his reckless plan. They recognized that such a high-profile assassination would bring unwanted scrutiny from law enforcement and jeopardize their carefully constructed criminal empire. The commission, determined to eliminate Schultz before he could unleash chaos upon their world, decided to act swiftly and decisively. On the evening of October 23, 1935, Dutch Schultz and 3 of his closest associates gathered for dinner at the Palace Chop House in Newark, New Jersey. As they ate and discussed their affairs, unaware of the danger lurking outside, 2 hitmen, dispatched by the Mafia Commission, entered the establishment. Gunfire erupted, shattering the evening calm. Schultz and his men, caught off guard, were riddled with bullets. Section 9. Legacy of a Gangster. The enduring shadow of Dutch Schultz. Dutch Schultz's reign of terror came to an abrupt and bloody end on the morning of October 25, 1935. After clinging to life for nearly 2 days, succumbing to the numerous gunshot wounds he had sustained in the Palace Chop House ambush, Schultz breathed his last. His death sent shockwaves through the underworld, marking the end of an era in New York City's criminal history. Despite his violent end, Dutch Schultz's legacy continues to fascinate and intrigue. His life and crimes have been the subject of countless books, films, and television shows, cementing his status as a legendary figure in the annals of American gangsterism. His story serves as a reminder of the seductive allure of power, the corrosive nature of greed, and the ultimate futility of a life lived outside the law. Section 10. Conclusion. Lessons from a Tumultuous Life. Dutch Schultz's life, though tragically cut short, offers a window into a turbulent period in American history. His rise and fall illuminate the complex interplay of factors that fueled the rise of organized crime during the Prohibition era. Poverty, ambition, and a disregard for authority propelled Schultz into a life of crime, while the insatiable thirst for profit during Prohibition provided fertile ground for his criminal empire to flourish. Schultz's story is a cautionary tale, a reminder of the seductive nature of power and the devastating consequences of unchecked ambition. His ruthlessness, while effective in the short term, ultimately sowed the seeds of his own destruction. His defiance of the Mafia Commission, his paranoia, and his reckless plot against Thomas Dewey all contributed to his downfall. In the end, Dutch Schultz's life, though marked by wealth and notoriety, ended in a hail of bullets, a testament to the violent and often short-lived nature of a life of crime.